Hey guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Peace! Peekaboo, I see you because I'm YouTube famous now. Available Halloween 2023, the album, Dad, Shimmy Shimmy AF. Take me down to the paradise city where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Oh, won't you please take me down? Beast! I always listen to a song before I start filming my video, and today I was listening to a little Paradise City by Guns N' Roses. Receipt! The receipt, Whitney. Before I get into this video, I want to say a very special thank you to AdamandEve.com for yet sponsoring another video on my channel. Thank you so much, AdamandEve.com. If you don't know what AdamandEve.com is, it's a website. For those of you that are 18 years and older, it helps the intimacy in your life, okay? It helps the intimate factors. So go over to AdamandEve.com, buy yourself a present, buy your partner a present. Listen, Linda, Christmas is coming up, okay? It is not too early to start buying Christmas presents. And for my husband, I always buy him like something that he wants, and then like a surprise that he didn't think that he wanted, but he finds out that he wanted. And then I buy something very romantic, okay? Like, I don't know, like a new cologne or something that I love, and then I buy him something very sexy, you know? That's, I mean, listen, this isn't the gifts of the Magi. You don't just get 3 gifts, okay? You get lots of gifts in our life, but I always buy him something romantic and something sexy to kind of like heighten our relationship. So you can do that too. So you can go over to AdamandEve.com and you can buy something sexy for your partner or for yourself. Listen, you deserve a Christmas present too. And with my code Peter, you get 50% off your first item plus free shipping and handling in the United States and Canada. Some exclusions do apply. And I am being compensated for this endorsement on my channel. I am being paid money for this, but I truly, truly believe in AdamandEve.com. I have talked about them for a long time on my channel. So thank you, AdamandEve.com for sponsoring another video on my channel. All right, so let's get into this video. I don't know why. I have tried to film this video like 5 or 6 times, and every time I try to film this video, something happens. Like this big gust of wind comes up or something. If you can hear in the background, this neighbor of mine just started walking by my other neighbor, and they just started talking while I'm doing my Adam and Eve sponsorship. That means you need to go over to AdamandEve.com right now and buy something, okay? My neighbors are telling you to even. But I'm like, okay, is there like a reason why I shouldn't be making this video? I kind of felt nervous before I started making this video anyway. And I'm like, why? Like, this is nothing that you don't typically talk about in your channel. I'm going to talk about several different things over here because I didn't make a video yesterday. I want to talk about the bizarre friendship of Jeffree Star and Eugenia Cooney, and I want to talk about Jeffree Star's sales tactics and how that's centered around drama and things like that. I also want to talk about something that was brought to my attention about predator protectors of James Charles and Colleen Ballinger, and where does my stance, where do I draw the line in the sand for that, and kind of bring it to you guys, because to be honest with you, when it was brought to my attention, I was kind of like, you know, like this is, I think, an important conversation to have with my audience. By the way, I'm also going to be doing a rant video over here. So I put it up on my Twitter, and I also put it up on my Instagram, that if you have something that you want to rant about, something funny, okay? Something funny, haha. If you haven't seen my rant videos, it's where I get on video and I scream and rant for a half an hour or so about all the things that are driving me crazy. They're driving me crazy in my life. You can go over there and you can go over to my Instagram, or you can go over to my Twitter, and you can leave me what your rant is of the day, and it may make it into my video. So anyway, let's first start talking about this Jeffree Star, Eugenia Cooney relationship. Okay, so, well, first of all, actually, I think I need a Diet Coke. I'm on the front porch, having a little conversation with you guys. It's very warm today in Indianapolis. It's like 75, but it's very windy. It's like a beautiful, 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 beautiful Halloween day. If you're watching my Peter Does Stuff channel, are you keeping up? We're watching all the Halloween movies over there, the Halloween franchise. I just finished the last two the 2 Rob Zombie movies, and I'm on to Halloween 2018. So I have 3 movies left in the franchise. Are you guys keeping up with it over there? You are? So if you don't know, on my Peter Does Stuff channel, we watched all the Friday the 13th movies. We're watching all of the Halloween franchise movies this month. And then every month going forward, I am going to pick a movie series to watch. So like next month, I'm thinking the Saw franchise, or maybe the Godfather movies, maybe the Lord of the Ring movies. I don't know. Maybe the Star Wars movies. I've got a lot of movies to pick from. So go follow my Peter Does Stuff channel, and you guys can follow along with that. You can watch those movies with me. All right, so a lot of people have been reaching out to me and asking me what I think about this Jeffree Star, Eugenia Cooney friendship. In all honesty, I hadn't really thought a lot about it. I talked about it in a video that I did a couple days ago. I kind of need to get relaxed a little bit here. Is my neighbor out there? Let me talk to my neighbor. If I talk to my neighbor, I always get like relaxed and calm. I took like all day yesterday off and I just like watched TV. Well, I went out with my cousin Caroline and then I came back and I did not feel great. And so I took the day off from filming and I kind of feel out of sorts today from filming. I think that's kind of why, like, see, the planes are going overhead and stuff and I'm like, should I not be filming out here? I don't know. Like, I just kind of feel like out of sorts today. It's like very windy. In all honesty, I have to say, some of the stuff that I'm going to be talking about at the end of this video, I'm kind of, in all honesty, like, I think it's important to talk about, but I've always just learned to be completely transparent on video and just share where I'm at. I'm kind of so over talking about it, and I kind of really am at a point where I really don't know what to do with this stuff anymore, that I almost am not even really like enjoying talking about it in videos, but I think it's important to talk about it in videos. And I'm kind of at this point where I really don't know what to do with it either. And it all kind of started really for me with this lip gloss series that I was doing a couple, like last week. So I'll explain to that in a second. But a lot of people have been asking me what I think about this Eugenia Cooney and Jeffree Star instant friendship that has started. I think what happened was this. So for those of you that don't know, Jeffree Star and Eugenia Cooney would go onto these TikTok rock battles. Which kind of reminds me of the rap battle on Teen Witch a little bit, which ever since I've mentioned that in a video, so many people have sent that to me on Instagram, which I think is hilarious. They've sent me the rap battle from Teen Witch. I love that movie, Teen Witch, by the way. But anyway, that has that woman that was in Poltergeist. Oh my god, I love her so much! The one that has all, her hair's all going crazy and she goes, this house is clean. You know, that one. We used to say that when I was a kid. We would chew Bubblicious or Hubba Bubba Bubblegum, like that was pink. It looked like the, you know, the stuff that was coming through that door where Carol Ann and her mom, Jo Beth Williams, came out. And we would like go like that and pop our gum. We go, come to the light, Carol Ann, come to the light. But anyway, so I think the whole thing started with Jeffree Star and Eugenia Cooney would do these battles on TikTok. I think it honestly started off rather innocently. I think they just kind of would, you know, get in these battles together, and I think that Jeffree Star is somebody that very quickly notices that that people's interest, where it is, if that makes sense. Incidentally, before we even get into this, I am a believer, because I have watched it for 7 years, that Jeffree Star is very much motivated by things that will bring his business money or bring his business sales. It is interesting to me that when I went over and I looked at his Halloween mystery boxes that went on sale last week, that when you go over to them, they are still available on his Jeffree Star Cosmetics website. There are 2 sizes, Deluxe and Supreme. The Deluxe is still available. You can still get it, as is the Supreme. Now, if you guys remember back in the day, the Jeffree Star mystery boxes sold out like that. Like, literally, I mean, you couldn't even get them. They would sell out so quick, right? What's interesting to me about this is that the Deluxe box was $283, and it is now $70. Here's the receipt for you guys. Okay? And then the Supreme was $465, and it is now $120. Now, if I were a fan of Jeffree Star's that had spent $465 on the Supreme box, and he marked it down to $120 in literally a week, we're not talking about it's Christmas and he's trying to sell these Halloween mystery boxes. We're talking about it's not even Halloween yet, okay? And somebody spent almost $500 buying this mystery box, and he has already marked it down to $120. I would be so bitter, right? But what that tells you, when you look at Jeffree Star Cosmetics website, nothing's selling out. Jeffree Star is not the master seller that he used to be, you know? And what's interesting to me is that, you know, people talk about the pandemic and how that's really hurt the beauty industry and things like that, which I completely 100% agree with. But Jeffree Star was selling out more 2 years ago, when we were closer to the pandemic, than he is today. Jeffree Star has lost a lot of favor. I think one of the major reasons why he's coming back to YouTube is because I think he thought, all the views are on TikTok, so I'm going to move my entire platform to TikTok because there's no point for me to be on YouTube anymore. He even said that, right? Like, there's no views on YouTube. Even though he was still getting millions of views on YouTube, there's no views on YouTube. Well, the reality is, there's a lot of, I know this because a lot of people tell me this, There's a lot of people that watch YouTube that don't watch TikTok. There's a lot of people that like long-form content, right? I think Jeffree Star realized when he went over to TikTok that he was losing a major audience. I'm not really that convinced that Jeffree Star, I almost said James Charles, but we're going to get to him in just a second. I'm not really that convinced that Jeffree Star really cares that much about YouTube. I don't know that he really cares that much about TikTok. I, in retrospect, am not sure that he really ever did. I think he's always seen it as a selling point for his business. It's almost kind of like a QVC ad, so to speak. Whatever he does, okay? Whether he's showing his house, whether he's doing a Taco Bell thing, whether he's doing a TikTok battle, whatever he's doing is always kind of like a QVC ad because he is his brand. So if you're following him, if you're liking him, if you're subscribing to him, then you are more likely going to buy his products. I think the reason why he's moving back to YouTube and he did a video on YouTube, you know, is because he realized he was missing out on a major part of his audience. So I think it was actually a smart move for him to come back to YouTube. I think it was a stupid move for him to ever leave YouTube to begin with. I think that he should have stayed on YouTube and then also gone to TikTok. And I think that he would have probably kept up the sales to some degree. I think at this point, part of it is that people are working 2 to 3 jobs. People are not that much into the world of the influencer anymore. People don't really care that much about the drama of the beauty guru influencer anymore or their friendships. Back in the day, I mean, I was like in the heat of it, you know, in 2016, 2017, 2018. The drama is really what fed a lot of the sales. And Jeffree Star was somebody that was very aware of that. You know, he is somebody that would stir up drama just for sales. People don't really care that much anymore. You know, it kept them relevant. It kept people interested in talking about them. That's why Jeffree Star would say things like, what we're not going to do is make Jeffree Star the drama of 2021. And then he would turn around and be the drama of 2021, right? Because the drama is what sold makeup sales. I have said this for years and years and years. And, you know, people would always kind of laugh at me when I would say this. And I would say, you know, it's kind of like back in the day when you would have these movie industry gossip reporters like Luella Parsons that would be invited to all of I keep on wanting to say Halloween, the Hollywood parties, right? And then they would see like an actor and actress that are in some movie kissing in the corner. And then they would write up, so-and-so and so-and-so are kissing in the corner at this party. And then everybody would want to go see the movie, okay? This gossip as a marketing tactic is not a new idea. It's as old as time, right? Jeffree Star is really the first person in the beauty space, online, the influencer beauty space, that decided to make it work for him. And so he was kind of the first one that started doing it. And so he caused all this drama, and a lot of the drama that he didn't cause, he turned it into drama, where it was like his fallout with his friends. He really used that as a lot of marketing, you know? He really victimized himself at that time, like he still is doing this. Like, oh, these people treated me so badly. Like, I built their careers. I really helped this. Like, for example, Jeffree Star wants to come out, and I'm just going to say this right here, okay? And this is not my story to tell, and it is a very sensitive story. But Jeffree Star has the nerve to get on an interview and say that legal could get involved with why he and Manny MUA had a falling out, and that you need to ask Manny MUA why they had that falling out. Okay, girl, let's just be for real. Everybody behind the scenes knows why you and Manny MUA fell out, okay? You know it, I know it, you told me what it was about, Manny knows what it's about, everybody in the beauty space knows what it was about, okay? Why would legal ever need to get involved in that? You're a liar, okay? You're straight up a liar. The reason why you and Manny MUA had a falling out had nothing to do... This is Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star hyping things up to the point where it's like, oh, legal might have to get involved. There is no reason, based on the falling out of Manny MUA and Jeffree Star, that legal would ever need to get involved, okay? It is nothing about that whatsoever. That was straight up bullshit when he said that. And he acted like, oh, well, I don't know, legal might have to get involved. You might have to ask Manny, blah, 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 okay? We all know what the falling out was about, all right? And it's not my place to say, and y'all don't sit here and be like, oh, Peter's teasing it out. I'm not teasing it out because it's too sensitive of a topic, okay? And it is not my story to tell. And I'm not even mentioning whose story it is to tell, okay? because it does involve somebody else. But what I'm saying is this. There's no issue for legality to be included in that whatsoever. So for Jeffree Star to come out and insinuate that if he tells why they had the falling out with him and Manny, that legal could be involved, that is straight up bullshit. Just as much as Shane Dawson getting a video and acting like TJ Maxx is going to sue him for giving him an honest review of his customer experience, which I proved in my video the other day, that he has every right as a consumer and a customer to give his honest review of his experience of that store, okay? So they want to hype up all this stuff about, oh, I could be sued, I could be, who cares, okay? There's a lot of things y'all should have been sued for, but you weren't, okay? But you hype up the things you could never get sued for. So Jeffree Star has always been somebody that has built his career on drama. And when things are not selling for his business, like right now they're not, he does it more. It's like, when, you know, the podcast was coming out and all this kind of stuff, it's like, oh, he's dating an NFL player. He's going to the Super Bowl. He's doing this. He's doing that. You know, he's coming for people's wives, NFL players' wives. And he's like, this for me, I can't believe that this is how easily people forget things, right? Jeffree Star concocted this story that he was dating an NFL player, okay? Jeffree Star has never backed away from the fact that he dates NFL players, NBA players, rappers. They're all in the DL, right? Jeffree Star has never met an NFL player, an NBA player, a rapper, anybody that is not on the DL that wants to date him openly, all right? They are all, and you know, and in all honesty, what's interesting to me is, and I am not defending James Charles for 1 second for any of this, okay? But James Charles gets a lot of shit, rightfully so, okay, for coercing heterosexual men into wanting relationships. But Jeffree Star sits there all the time and acts like straight men are dipping into his DMs, and nobody takes issue with that whatsoever. I think it's a bad look on both of their parts, quite frankly, okay? As are all these other influencers that are kissing the cheeks of straight men, playing into that whole fantasy that has stigmatized the LGBTQIA plus community for years, okay? So I don't know why y'all are okay with it with Jeffree Star, but you're not okay with it with James Charles, period, right? But anyway, you know, he concocts this whole story about how he is, like, dating this NFL player, takes his picture in the mirror, blah, 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 all this kind of stuff. Then everybody thinks it's this one NFL player that's dipping out on his wife to hook up with Jeffree Star, and so she starts getting a lot of backlash, and she comes for Jeffree Star and says, can you please stop talking about this publicly? And he lashes out to her publicly, knowing that the whole thing is a contrived lie to just boost his podcast that he's doing, okay, with this guy that knew nothing about the history of Jeffree Star, which then Jeffree Star pushes his whole podcast. Why? Because this is the podcast where he comes out and he talks about gender-neutral words and things like that, and it hypes up even more, and then he drops a launch, okay? And that's what it always is. Hyped up drama, drop a launch. Hyped up drama, drop a launch. It's so old, and what's the sad part about this now is that Jeffree Star has tried to move his entire audience over to TikTok, move his audience from TikTok back over to YouTube to cross-pollinate it, okay? Hype up drama for a sale, hyped up drama for a sale, and it's not working. He can't even sell these mystery boxes, all right? He can't even sell these pathetic mystery boxes. Nobody cares about Jeffree Star. Jeffree Star is irrelevant, okay? He is completely irrelevant. So, you know, and he's all talking about how he's going to put out this book, this tell-all book, and he's going to put out, listen, y'all think if he isn't going to come out and talk about publicly why him and Manny and MUA are not friends, which I'm telling you right now, he could come out publicly and say what it's about. There is no reason why he couldn't come out and say it, okay? There's no legality with that whatsoever. It's a very sensitive topic, but he could come out and say it, okay? If he's not going to come out and publicly talk about that, do you think he's going to put it in a book? You think it's going to be the next Britney Spears memoir, which I've heard is fantastic, by the way? I actually looked, because I'm an Audible guy, I actually looked at it on Audible. It's like 5 hours and 30 minutes or something like that. Do y'all want me to listen to it and do a response to it? I would love to hear her story. For those of you that didn't know, I danced on stage with Britney Spears when I was 39 years old. It was one of my highlights of my life. But anyway, if he's not going to come out publicly and talk about why him and Manny MUA, how it's falling out, do you think he's really going to come out in a book and share about it? No, he's not. The book's going to be a bore-ass. The book's going to be about his childhood. It's going to then be about him starting the makeup industry, coming from the music industry. And then it's going to be a little bit him mentioning this person here and there and stuff. It's not going to be a drama-filled. Y'all think it's going to be this thing where he talks about Dramageddon and the fallout between Toddy Westbrook and James. No. If he were going to talk about that, he would have talked about it now because his sales are so bad, okay? He don't care about some book, trust me. And most of the world don't care about the world of Jeffree Star. That's the truth, because if they did, his sales would be a lot better, right? It is so windy out here, I feel like I'm going to blow away. Anyway, so everybody everybody's been asking me about this friendship of his between Eugenia Cooney, the friendship between Eugenia Cooney and Jeffree Star, which I think is weird at best, okay? And people are asking me what I think and whatever. I am not going to get into the history of what I think about Eugenia Cooney, okay? I don't really think about her a whole lot, to be honest with you. I don't watch her videos. I don't support her. I don't endorse her, all that kind of stuff, right? She seems to me, like I said in my last video, like a very nice person. To kind of reiterate what I said in my last video where I talked about her a little bit, if I were Eugenia Cooney's friend, I think that I would want to show her what a good friend was about, right? And maybe tell her some things that she needs to hear, not things she wants to hear. I don't know that I would find the need to throw her up in a video to boost my views every 5 seconds. That's all I'm saying, okay? I don't have that need to play into that whole negative world of Eugenia Cooney for views and clicks and money. I just don't, okay? And in fact, I've made this very, very clear in past videos through the years that there are people that I have stopped watching because I feel like, to some degree, they monetize their health concerns for views and clicks. And I'm not saying that that's what Eugenia Cooney is doing. I'm just saying it's questionable enough to me that I would not be comfortable throwing her up in a video and just being like, haha, let's just joke around, do a TikTok battle or whatever. Okay, so that's where my thing is about it, right? I think that Jeffree Star just kind of innocently got in these TikTok battles with Eugenia Cooney. It started bringing him a lot of views. Now, for those of you that don't know, I've heard a lot of, like, word on the street that Jeffree Star is not winning these battles as much anymore, so he's having to tip himself from Jeffree Star Cosmetics large sums of money just so he stays at the top of the game, right? Which is part of the reason why he's probably moving back to YouTube. Because when he was on TikTok originally, people were real excited. It's like, oh, Jeffree Star's on TikTok, yada, yada, yada. Now, they don't really care. Okay, so he's got to kind of hype that up again, right? So him and Eugenia Cooney, I think Rich Lux was in some of these things for a while. You know, they would do these battles, and people kind of liked the interaction between them. Because apparently they've been friends since the Warped Tour days, okay? Back in the day and all this kind of stuff. So recently, you know, he's been standing up for Eugenia Cooney and saying she's fine, she's okay, don't worry about the girl and all this kind of stuff. He knows to say these kinds of things, to even address or talk about whatever her health issues whatsoever is going to bring him attention. Because he's inserting himself right in the middle of what everybody talks about with Eugenia Cooney, okay? Now, I'm not really sure why he feels the need to do this when Jeffree Star, prior to 2023, I don't remember has ever spoken about Eugenia Cooney. But I could be wrong on that. Maybe he's mentioned her here and there, but like I don't ever, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, Shane Dawson should follow up on, this would be the great, this is where the Shane Dawson lovers kill me. They're like, this would be the best time for Shane Dawson to do the second part of the Eugenia Cooney video where he comes out and he really talks about her health concerns because she's getting 5150 and all this kind of stuff. Shane Dawson needs to step in and help her. Y'all, Shane Dawson only did that Eugenia Cooney video because he wanted the views and the clicks. You think he really gave a fuck about Eugenia Cooney? If he did, he would have followed up with her all these years later, not just sent her his collab that she opened up on video to her millions of subscribers and followers. No, okay? He would have been checking in with her regularly and saying that he was worried about her. That part 2 would have come 2 years ago, all right? People wouldn't have to be begging for it today. Now everybody's jumping on the Eugenia Cooney bandwagon because Eugenia Cooney, everybody's worried about her health because she's being 5150'd and crisis calls are being called to her house and things like that. That's important, okay? This just happened. She came out and addressed how they came out to her house and they checked it. Everybody was thinking that she was in treatment and all this kind of stuff. She said she wasn't. They came out, they did an evaluation on her at her house and all this kind of stuff, right? Okay. So her and Jeffree Star become friends. Now, I think at first it probably started innocently. But then I think he probably realized that people kind of liked this bizarre friendship. That people were kind of intrigued by this bizarre friendship. And it kind of was very similar to the back in the day. The friendships that he had with like Manny and Laura and things like that. Except for that made sense because they were all in the beauty industry. This crossover of industries could bring him an entirely new audience, right? People already knew that Eugenia Cooney loved Jeffree Star and loved his makeup, so this made a lot of sense. And Jeffree Star, being the friend of Eugenia Cooney, could bring him an entirely new audience, right? So what does he do? He flies her out to Wyoming, and she's been staying with him out there, okay? So then people have sent me this TikTok where incidentally, she's on this TikTok live. She forgets to mute the thing. No. I believe this was so completely contrived that her and Jeffree were sitting down and Jeffree's like, oh my God, you know what we should do? You should be in a TikTok live and in the background, I will act like I get a call that there's a stalker on my grounds and then everybody will go crazy. Listen, I've had conversations like this with Jeffree Star back in the day, okay? where James Charles would literally tweet something out and 2 seconds later Jeffree Star would be texting me, are you going to let him get away with this? Jeffree Star is so on the pulse of everything that's going on. Okay, he would contrive these ideas. I have heard stories of him behind the scenes where he's like, why don't you do this? And then it'll make everybody talk about us. I've heard all of those stories. So do I believe that Jeffree Star and Eugenia Cooney cooked this whole idea up and she doesn't want to say no to Jeffree Star? And so she's like, oh, okay, well, let's act like there's a stalker on the ground. So she's like, I mean, if you look at her, she looks like she's kind of going along with a prank that she doesn't even really get anyway. And for those people out there that say that they can never find these TikToks, just literally put in Eugenia Cooney, Jeffree Star. It'll come right up. It was the first one that came up for me when I looked it up. So anyway, she's like on this TikTok live, and he's like in the background, and she forgets to mute it. Bullshit. Eugenia Cooney is famous for forgetting to mute her live streams and things like that, right? Okay, so she forgets to mute it, and Jeffree Star's in the background talking to his security person. He's like, there's somebody on my grounds. Call the police right now. Who is coming? Nobody is coming out to the Jeffree Star ranch. Girl, nobody wants to buy your shit. Nobody cares that much about you, okay? I mean, if they are, where's the follow through on all this? Like, that's what's, you know, like, there's never any, like, we never see that stuff, right? So do I think this is contrived? Yeah, I believe it's contrived. That's my opinion about a public figure, that it's contrived, okay? Even if it's not, you are friends. Now, as a friend of, if I were friends with Eugenia Cooney, if I were Jeffree Star, and I knew that Eugenia Cooney idolized me and really loved me, right? And I really wanted to show her a good time, because she never really gets out of her house much. She never really gets to go places. You know, I would go out there on my private plane. I'd pick her up. I'd say, where do you want to go, girl? You know? We'll shut down Disney for the day. I'll take you through Disney if you want to go through there, okay? Come back to my ranch. Hang out with my ranch. No, we don't need to get on TikTok Live. We just need to hang out. I'll do your makeup. I'll give you all the free makeup in the world. You know, we'll just hang out. We'll watch movies. We'll do stuff. What is the need to constantly, like, you fly this girl out there and throw her up and she's in a TikTok Live? Why? Well, I don't understand this, okay? Y'all, do you not have friendship? This is why people are like, oh, Trisha said that, you know, Jeffree said that he would go on Trisha's podcast. Everybody's like, that would be a great place to work it out. Why can't they work it out privately? Why do all these people need to do shit on camera? Why does it always have to be on fucking camera, right? You can't have Eugenia Cooney out there out of the kindness of your heart just to have her hang out at your house. There always has to be a TikTok. Is there a video coming? Because I heard you and Shane Dawson were doing some video with Eugenia Cooney. So is that why she's out there? For Shane Dawson to come out there and for you guys to do a video with Eugenia Cooney, or for you to do a video with Eugenia Cooney? Can you not just be nice to somebody? Can you not just be nice to this girl that people are like criticizing left and right? Could you not be the one difference in the world? You know? You know, Jeffree Star wants to criticize all these people for being hateful and all this kind of stuff, right? And I love the Gandhi quote that says, be the change you want to see in the world. Jeffree Star, be the change you want to see in the world. You want to show people that you're really a friend of Eugenia Cooney's? Be a friend of Eugenia Cooney's. Have her out there for a week or two, and don't film any of it. Give the girl a break offline, okay? She doesn't have to be online 24 hours a day. The girl literally lives online. Give her a break. Let her be offline for a little bit. Let her have sincere, genuine interactions with people that are not online, okay? I don't get it. So, what do I think? I think it is a monetizable relationship. And listen, Jeffree Star and Eugenia Cooney are not the only monetizable relationships that are collabing on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram for money. Okay, there's a lot of them. That's the whole conversation of predator protectors with James Charles and all these people that surround him, right? They're all just hoping that they benefit something off of it. Do they really care about James Charles? I don't know that I think that they really do. I think that they think that they worry about what James Charles can benefit them, right? And we're going to talk about that in just a second. So, I'm not convinced that this is like a really sincere relationship between Jeffree Star. First of all, Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson call each other best friends, but Shane Dawson does this video that he's been wanting to do for 4 years about discount makeup in a TJ Maxx, and Jeffree Star can't even fly out to him, or he can't fly out to him. It's got to be on a phone call. You know? I love this comment. I got this comment the other day in my video, and it was because I went to the TJ Maxx with my girlfriend Melissa, and we went to look. We disproved. Everybody's like, well, my TJ Maxx, listen, I'm going to every TJ Maxx in Indianapolis, okay? Until I find a TJ Maxx that looks exactly like that TJ Maxx. Because I think he done wrecked that store. First of all, he didn't even show what the makeup section looked like, okay? I showed the entire makeup section. Shane Dawson didn't even show the makeup section. He showed a few palette things here and there. Shane Dawson has always done this in his videos. He shows you what he wants you to see and tells you what he wants you to believe, and you believe it, okay? So, anyway, I went to the store, and somebody said the other day, Shane Dawson takes 4 years to film a video, and Peter Monn goes and does a field trip with his girlfriend at TJ Maxx and has coffee for the day. Exactly. It ain't that deep, girl. It ain't that deep. This is your 4-year video that you've been putting together that you call your... At least my girlfriend came and picked me up, okay? Trust me, if I had private planes and the money that y'all did, I'd be flying people in here left and right to do videos with me. Y'all aren't best friends. It's gonna stop. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm back. But anyway, y'all aren't best friends. Y'all don't talk, okay? Y'all are business partners. Years from now, when Shane Dawson's canceled again or Jeffree Star's canceled again, they'll pull a good Daniel Prada and they'll say, girly girl, she was never my best friend. She was just my business associate. You guys you don't have the capacity to care about people. I really don't think you do, okay? You use people. You absolutely 100% use people. So anyway, I think that this whole relationship of Jeffree Star and Eugenia Cooney, okay, is to help boost Jeffree Star's return to YouTube and him trying to get some kind of drama, okay? When he realizes that the Eugenia Cooney money train done run out, trust me, he ain't gonna be calling her on the phone, doing TikTok battles with her, battling out, like, you know, Teen Witch. He ain't gonna be doing all that. He'll be moved on to the next person that's bringing him drama, okay? Be some rapper, NFL player, or something. He ain't gonna be bothered with Eugenia Cooney. Trust me, in 6 months from now, we ain't gonna be hearing about Jeffree Star and Eugenia Cooney anymore, okay? Trust me. To all of you out there, Jeffree Star super fans are like, oh yes, we will. Him and Eugenia Cooney are best friends, blah, 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 whatever, okay? Trust, okay? 6 months, we won't be hearing about the friendship of Eugenia Cooney. She'll be back at her house, okay? Trying on outfits and being on her TikTok live, and Jeffree Star will be moved on to the next person in the next drama, okay? To boost his next thing. Trust. That's what's gonna happen, okay? It's not a real friendship at all. Because if it was, and he really cared about the girl, first of all, he wouldn't be telling the whole world the things that he doesn't know. I didn't realize he was Dr. Jeffree Star and that she's completely, he can medically evaluate her and say that she's completely fine and that she's okay. How does he know that? I don't know that. I have no clue about that. How can he say that? Has he had consultations with her doctors and said things like that? A lot of people are a lot of Eugenia Cooney's fans are very, very worried about her health, right? And yes, I do know that this TMZ article came out and this, you know, police officer said this kind of stuff. Y'all, listen, TMZ is bought, okay? TMZ couldn't even come out and report appropriately on Colleen Ballinger. Go back and look. The only thing that they have really reported accurately on is the fact that she wore green face, not black face, okay? TMZ is bought by the people of Colleen Ballinger. TMZ has so many people that are working for them that have networking connections with all these influencers. That's why they don't report appropriately about Colleen Ballinger. So, is it surprising to me that Jeffree Star's got people at TMZ that are putting out information about all this? No, not at all. Okay, so I do not trust TMZ. I think they are a joke of a news source, okay? Have I read their articles over here from time to time? Yeah, when they put out a story that I think is kind of interesting, just start talking about it, have a conversation, but I don't listen. They don't get the story right ever, okay? They don't fact check, they don't do their kind of stuff, whatever. It's a joke. TMZ has become a joke. When I first started looking at TMZ and things like that, like, they reported on everything. They got it right, okay? They got so many, it's like back in the day, well, I won't even get into all that, but, you know, they've got so many different networking connections now that there are so many people that they won't talk about. Ask why TMZ is one of the only news sources out there about pop culture that hasn't reported appropriately about Colleen Ballinger. There's your integrity, TMZ, okay? So no, I think you're a piece of shit too. So anyway, let's talk about this whole James Charles, supporting James Charles, being predator protector and things like that, okay? So, and I'm really, to be honest with you, I'm at a point where I don't really know what to do with this anymore, okay? And so I'm really bringing it to you because I feel like, first of all, I beat it to death talking about it, okay? That being said, I still think it's important to talk about. I really, really do. I think, like, I noticed this the other day. Like, I was like, oh, I did make a video about Colleen Ballinger in October because I said I was going to make a video about her every month until she came back and she addressed this appropriately, which she hasn't. And people were like, Peter, you're seriously going to make a video every month talking about Colleen Ballinger until she comes back and addresses it? Sure as shit am. Fucking try me on that one. And I was sitting there and I was like looking at Adam McIntyre's videos, right? And people are like, oh, Adam McIntyre's entire channel is dedicated to Colleen Ballinger. Adam McIntyre's been making all kinds of videos recently that have nothing to do with Colleen Ballinger, right? And I was like, you know, at some point, when you're the lone wolf standing out there trying to continue to educate people on this story, it's like there becomes a point when you can't be the only person standing out there, which I have to believe to some degree is how Adam feels. It's like people are forgetting about the story. People have stopped talking about it. Colleen Ballinger has learned to not stir anything up, not put out any more ukulele videos. She's seen in public here. She's seen in public there. It's like Jenna Marbles back in the day, although Jenna Marbles did not do anything near... When I think back about all the drama that Jenna Marbles got, okay, and had to put out an hour-long apology video to the fish community. No, true story, y'all. Okay, let's talk about this, okay? That Jenna Marbles made an hour-long fucking apology video about how she, like, housed her fish that she got, okay, to the fish community and was, like, bawling on video. And you have Colleen Ballinger with a ukulele making a joke of the victim's stories, and people stand by that, and people came for Jenna Marbles. I know why Jenna Marbles got off YouTube now. She saw this coming, okay? Jenna Marbles was always a visionary. She saw this coming. She's like, there is too much shit coming. These influencers are being ruined left and right, and I don't want to be part of it whatsoever. And I miss Jenna Marbles. I really do, you know? But anyway, so, you know, what Colleen Ballinger has learned is it's better to shut my mouth and not say anything, okay? Until everybody's kind of forgotten, enough time's gone by. James Charles did this. Everybody that's gotten into drama has done this, okay? The Manny MUAs, the Laura Lees, the James Charles, now the Colleen Ballingers. Everybody has done this, okay? Stay offline. Take a respite break until it's safe enough for you to come back and talk about this, okay? So I'm sitting there and I'm looking at it, I'm like, no, well, nobody's talking about Colleen Ballinger anymore. This is working, right? People are forgetting about Colleen Ballinger. People are forgetting that Colleen Ballinger was problematic. People are forgetting about the stories of the victims. Colleen Ballinger's plan is working. Another 6 months, there will be something huge that happens, and people won't be talking about Colleen Ballinger anymore. That will be 2023 story, right? Then it won't be serious. Then it will be drama to people. And then, you know, summer, fall, 2024, people will start making jokes about it. Colleen Ballinger will get in a video with a ukulele. You know, she'll make a joke about it. Because that's the best way to address your own downfall, is to take your downfall and turn it into a joke and be the first person to laugh at yourself, so then everybody else feels comfortable laughing at you. Then all her friends will start siding with her again. Colleen Ballinger will start making videos again, and everybody will forget, right? Which is why I'm going to continue to talk about it, because I think it's important, okay? But I talked about this in my video that I did the other day. I did this lip gloss video. You can talk about brain fart ideas, like Jaclyn Hill has these brain fart ideas. This was a Peter Monn brain fart idea, okay? I no longer support Manny MUA, and therefore I no longer support Lunar Beauty. For a long time I used the Lunar Beauty Celine lip gloss in my videos, okay? Now, I think there's this misconception that, like, Manny MUA was, like, in one picture with James Charles and I unfollowed him. Let's be very clear about this, okay? Manny MUA, I stood by him for years, okay? Holding on, hoping that the man would change, okay? And see the light, like Winona, okay? And see that James Charles was continuing to be problematic, okay? I would see him go out to dinners with him. I would see him, like, sending birthday wishes. I would see him in pictures with James Charles. I continue to stand by the man, okay? Because I thought that he would see that. I even asked Manny on the phone, right? When the Colleen Ballinger podcast came out about Full Coverage, on Full Coverage podcast with he and Laura, and he said he felt sorry for Colleen Ballinger, I was like, it was already strike one, okay? Because of all the back history. That was strike two for me. I was like, I can't do this anymore, okay? Then when the PR thing came out with James Charles, and he was going to Tana's house, we're going to talk about her in a second too. When he was going to Tana's house, and he was going to JoJo Siwa's house, and Manny MUA's house, and Manny kissed him on the cheek, that was like strike three for me, okay? And then Manny came out, and it was already done, and then Manny came out, and he reviewed Painted, and then doubled down, and he's taken that review down off TikTok because he got so much hate for it. Then he doubled down and stood up for the blotchiness, okay, of the makeup and did 2 TikToks. He never does that. He never comes out and defends the makeup that he reviews in his video. He did that for James Charles. That literally was like strike 4, 5, and 6 for me, and I was done, okay? But let's not get it twisted. I gave Manny MUA many, many chances, okay? Many, many chances. So when people want to come out and they want to say, oh, like, you instantly unfollowed Manny MUA and stopped using his lip glosses. No, baby. Fucking fact check that, okay? Go back and watch my videos. And I have no problem getting online and admitting that I am a human being. And I stood by that man and gave him way too many chances, way past the time that I should have, okay? That's on me. That's on me. I should have probably unfollowed him and stopped supporting him long before I did. But I didn't. And that's on me. And I have no problem getting online and admitting it. See, Christy? See how easy that is, Raw Beauty Christy? Oh, no, Christy, let's just run and hide. Let's just act like this shit don't matter, right? Okay. It really is not that hard, Christy, to act like an adult, okay? Adult up in your gnome home and sit there and act like, maybe I just gave this person too many chances because I hoped that they would change one day. There's no problem in admitting that you're a human being and that you err, okay? And I did. I fucked up. I gave Manny way too many chances. And even saying this today, there's like a part of me in the back of my head as I say that. It's like, I hope Manny still changes. I do. There's a part of me, but I've been so convinced over time that I'm like, Manny is money hungry. He cares about the views. I think that now in retrospect, when he came out and said that, and I love this saying for a long time, I've said it in millions of videos of mine, right? That he came out and said that my social blade might be in the red, but my personal life is in the green. I think that's bullshit in retrospect. I don't really think that he cares about his personal life. I think he cares about the social blade. I think because he doesn't, who is Manny MUA without his career, without his surreal life, without his makeup launches, without his going to launches and parties and pictures with, who is he? Who is he? Who is he if he's not kissing Harry Jowsey's cheek on Dancing with the Stars? Who is Manny MUA, right? He's nobody. And you know, I don't know that he can handle that. So anyway, I stood by Manny way too long. I have no problem admitting that. Well, I do this lip gloss video because I innocently was like, I'm going to start reviewing every lip gloss in the world. Now, I have now probably spent $400 to $600 on lip glosses. I bought like every lip gloss out there in the world. Every lip gloss that's been recommended to me, I have purchased, okay? I have decided to stop doing the lip gloss series. And the reason why is because, now I have to tell you, there's somebody out there, and I will do this video because I think this video is important, that has made a list of all the problematic brands and all the non-problematic brands. All the brands that follow James Charles, all the brands that don't, okay? So I will at some point do that video. I'm very thankful to that person. But it wasn't just that. It was like, well, yes, Rihanna doesn't follow James Charles, but Rihanna does do this. And Fenty Beauty does do this. Yes, Chanel doesn't follow James Charles, but Coco Chanel was a Nazi sympathizer. Yes, this brand doesn't do this, but this brand did do that. And it was like, what I started finding was there really weren't that many completely non-problematic brands, unless they were very small indie brands that really hadn't been around for a long time to get into that much trouble, you know? And I got, like, to be honest with you, I got kind of really sad about it. Because I was like, really, this is just about lip gloss? But it's really not just about lip gloss. This is about how truly problematic the beauty community is, okay? And not just Jeffree Star and James Charles and Toddy Westbrook and Shane Dawson, if he considers himself part of the beauty industry, and not just Manny MUA and Laura Lee, but it goes so deep, right? I think it goes deep in every industry. I think it goes deep in the fashion industry and probably the food industry and everywhere. I think it goes deep. There's a lot of problematic people out there. And then I think the question for me was, at what point does it stop? Because I felt like I was kind of on these two ends, right? Either I go in and I become, you know, this person that is like, I refuse to follow anybody problematic anymore. Anybody that supports James Charles, blah, blah, blah. And anybody that is problematic in any way whatsoever, I will not put money in their pocket whatsoever. Or the other side of it is, just fuck it. And I'm just being completely honest with you guys, okay? Or the other side of that is, fuck it. Buy all the brands. Don't care what they do anymore. Don't care who supports them. The problem with that is that I think that that's why a lot of these people have for so long gotten away with what they've gotten away with. Now, I will say this. I don't take, and I was throwing lip glosses out here and there because, oh, this person followed James Charles on Instagram. This person followed James Charles on Instagram. I do take issue with the fact that these marketing departments, people are like, well, I don't think that Pat McGrath really knows that she follows James Charles on Instagram. It's probably her media department. Well, first of all, then she needs to hire people that know what they're doing, okay? That shouldn't be following a predator. That being said, if you have a brand that just follows somebody on Instagram, but they've never liked a picture, they've never endorsed that person's brand publicly, they've never supported them, they've never done a project with them, I don't know that I take a huge issue with that. I take some issue with it, and I'm not trying to backtrack, but I don't know that I take a huge issue with that, okay? Because I'm having to start coming up with my new rules about this. And to be honest with you, I really need your help with this. What do we do in this new world that has come of all this, right? Like, what do we do? Because I don't really know, you know? So I don't know that I take an issue with somebody that just follows them. I think it's fair to ask that person, that organization, that company, well, why do you feel it necessary to follow Colleen Ballinger or James Charles? So I will get to that in just a second. But that being said, when I was talking about Norvina from Anastasia Beverly Hills, Norvina has done projects with James Charles. Norvina has endorsed James Charles products. James Charles has endorsed Norvina's products. Okay, that to me goes deeper than just a follow. For example, like with Manny MUA. There's a lot of other people out there, okay, that have endorsed James Charles products, that have supported his products. But I was sent this, first of all, they put this on my Instagram. Okay, I'm not very active on Instagram. I post a picture like every once in a blue moon, okay? I got a full comment section. I got a Twitter that's open. So I posted this picture. Now, before this, just to give you guys an idea of how rarely I post on Instagram, October 8th at my husband's, or my brother-in-law's wedding, I posted these pictures of the whole family, my husband and I. Then the picture before that was Boo Radley's birthday on September 30th, and then it was our anniversary, okay? So I got this new coat in the mail from that, I don't know how to pronounce that brand. They're probably problematic too, Cotopaxi or whatever. And I post this picture of myself, okay? And I sent her today, underneath there, today was such a beautiful fall day, what are y'all doing this weekend? Now, this person felt the need to comment underneath that video when I have a full comment section that I do not delete comments, okay, unless y'all are hateful. And that I have a Twitter that y'all can tweet to me. I have emails that you can send it to me. But you felt it necessary to start a brand new Instagram with a fake picture and a private account, okay, so that you could leave this comment. And here's the comment, all right? And I wouldn't even have a problem with this comment. But the problem with this comment is that you're so in defense of Manny MUA and James Charles, it just sees from his comment. But I think it brings up a valid point, okay? And the comment is, Peter, I am reposting my comment again, which I don't know why they need to repost the comment again because I never deleted it. Maybe I didn't see it. Please don't ignore this. Starbucks follows James Charles and Colleen Ballinger, which they do. I checked. Dunkin' Donuts doesn't, though. You put your money more into their pockets and promote them more than anyone I know. Are you ready and willing to stand by your predator protector stance and the quote about integrity being the standing by your convictions even when inconvenient and hard? Unfollowing someone is the easy part, but are you going to immediately stop purchasing their coffee tomorrow and their tumblers? Like you did with Manny MUA's lip glosses. Will you be immediately halting all purchases, mention, and showing Starbucks on all of your channels, at least publicly, now going forward, okay? So basically what this is kind of a threat. It's like, well, you've called out all these people, okay? So now are you going to do the same with Starbucks and Netflix, okay? Because this is what the problem with this comment that I have, all right? My problem with this comment is that it's coming very much along the lines of, you rode so fucking hard for James Charles and Manny MUA, you better fucking ride hard for Starbucks and Netflix too because they do the same fucking thing, okay? So if you're going to come for Manny MUA because I'm such a Manny MUA lover, you better come for Netflix and Starbucks too, alright? And I'm not saying that I'm not. But let's just mind you that I gave Manny MUA 2 to 3 fucking years, okay? So I still got 2 to 3 fucking years to make up my mind. But even though your comment is so heavily biased in favor of Manny MUA and James Charles, what I will say to you is that you do bring up a valid point to me, okay? Where does it stop? Now, Starbucks has a lot to gain from James Charles. James Charles, he drank the pinkety drinkety for years, brought Starbucks tons of attention, okay? Now, Starbucks benefits financially great off of James Charles and him carrying Starbucks around and things like that, all right? That's problematic. Do I need to unfollow Starbucks? Well, I don't follow them. Do I need to stop buying their tumblers and their coffee and things like that? Do I need to completely have nothing to do with Starbucks anymore? I don't know. My gut's telling me, where does it end? You know, if I won't follow this person and I call them a predator protector, then Starbucks is a predator protector too. And if I don't, then I'm a hypocrite, right? But where does it stop? Am I supposed to not watch Netflix anymore? Because Netflix still has all of Colleen Ballinger's shows up. They still have all of Kevin Spacey's shows up too, okay? So, because I made no less than 32 to 42 videos about Manny MUA, telling him how I felt and my stance about that, before he ever unfollowed James Charles and still hasn't to this day, I feel like the least I can do is maybe give Starbucks and Netflix the opportunity before they don't get my business anymore. And I don't even know that that's going to be the case. I'm just being completely honest with you guys, because I don't know where it ends, right? Like, I mean, I don't. Like, I'm so confused all this kind of stuff. It's like when I started talking about it, I didn't see it going down this way. Now, I will tell you that this person hit on something that they probably heard me say in videos before. I love the quote in the movie The Contender, right? That at the very end of the movie, she says, principles only mean something if you stick to them when they're inconvenient. But is Adam McIntyre the only person talking about Colleen Ballinger? Am I going to be the one that gives up Starbucks and Netflix and nobody else is and nobody cares? I mean, I don't really know at what expense I am willing, and I'm being completely fucking honest. Call me a hypocrite of the world, I don't care. I don't know at what expense I'm willing to, like, punish myself over the fact that I think it's important to talk about these things when nobody else is willing to do them as well. I mean, this person coming for me, are you willing to unfollow Starbucks and not get their coffee anymore? Are you willing to stop watching Netflix? Is the whole world out there that takes issue with Colleen Ballinger? For all of you people out there that have come to my comment section and sided with me or Adam or the victims and said that you have issues with Colleen Ballinger, are you willing to tomorrow get rid of your Netflix subscription and stop watching Netflix tomorrow? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out to Netflix, and I'm going to reach out to Starbucks, their marketing director, and I'm going to ask them why they continue to follow James Charles and why they continue to follow Colleen Ballinger. I'm going to explain who I am, and I'm going to explain that I'm going to report back to that. And I will let you know if they don't respond to me, and I will let you know if they do respond to me. But I am going to give them an opportunity, just like I gave Manny MUA many opportunities, okay, before I unfollowed him. But just as us having a conversation out here, I don't know what to do with it. In all honesty, my heart tells me the right thing to do is to not support Starbucks anymore. And yeah, that is fucking inconvenient for me because I love Starbucks. But there are other coffee brands for me to get out there. Netflix doesn't even put that many great shows up there, right? So I guess the question is, and I'm just being an honest human being, like I said at the beginning of this video, at what point do we inconvenience ourselves over our own integrity, you know? How many of you out there are willing to give up Netflix in support of the victims of Colleen Ballinger if they are unwilling to take down Colleen Ballinger's shows out there? I mean, years have gone by. Kevin Spacey can't get a job in Hollywood, but House of Cards is still up there, right? Or are other of his shows. Other people's shows are up there that have been problematic, deeply problematic. I guess the question to me I'm asking you, as I've always just felt like I was the voice of a consumer, where do we draw the line? I'd be really interested to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section below. Trust me, I will not come for you if you say, Peter, you need to immediately stop supporting Starbucks and stop buying their coffee. You'll give me a lot to think about. I just really want to know what you guys think about that. You know, if you guys say to me, I think tomorrow you need to unsubscribe from Netflix and stop watching their shows, or you say whatever, I'm going to really think about it. I really feel like I need to think about it, you know? So let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.